Hey there, it's Patmos, and nice of you to join me for a brand new series for YouTube with Settlements Rising. And we're just going to get straight into a brand new game. We're using the survival settings, so yes, we do get some raids and stuff, but everything we'll leave at normal, just to see how this game fares when we have everything on normal. I do want a large map. Now, I don't really care about the map seed, so I'm just putting something in and we'll see what we get out of it. I have no clue. All the deposits should be fine. We then don't have enhancements. So let's start a brand new game. And you may have seen this game already when I streamed it on YouTube. But I thought it would be fun to actually get going with a YouTube series for this game. Alright, here we have the map that we can play on. It is, well, it ends here. So if we place the town center here, we know already that this is the end. We see there's a ton of stuff around here. There's some water. Here's some nice goodies. So it's a pretty big size map. Now we're going to want to be at the shoreline at some point for trading and exploration and that kind of stuff. And it makes it quite hard that there's all these gorges here. But this, well, this is an open spot that could be interesting. But it's not so close to the shore. This is a nice open area that is relatively close to shore. And we could start out here maybe. And then work our way up to open areas like this and have some fun there. We can also see that there's some coal deposits out here and iron. So I think we have most of the stuff. There's animals, there's food, medicinal roots, there's some fibers. So there's a lot of stuff here actually that we could use to make a fun town. But I think this is where we're actually going to start right now. So yeah, let's build our town center right there. Now of course this game has a card system where you see the chances of getting certain cards. So we have 2 common cards, 1 uncommon card. And well, I'd like to have some extra fishing, save it for later. So now the card is saved and we can use it later on, which is nice. Ooh, it says here, after 7 baby births or immigration, a new card will be rolled. Very cool. Alright, well, they're now going to gather stuff here to feed themselves and, of course, build this. We have to tell them what to do, though. We right now have 12 laborers and 2 builders, which is okay. And what we're going to start with is tell them to get some resources out of the area here around our town center. And that gives me time to start setting up this area. We're going to start setting it up with a bit of roads, of course. We need some road connections and stuff like that. Yes, I don't mind. We need to remove some bushes and stuff. It's what it is, and it's what needs to happen if we want to build a prosperous, nice, lovely town. All right, let's go. We have a little bit of a setup for roads. Now, it will take them quite some time to build these actually, so be prepared for that. Luckily, we can change priorities. I think we should start off with a nice storage so that we can store a lot of goods. And then it is pretty important to get started with food and such. Now, hunting, fishing, gathering. Those are the things we have to do. We can do some hunting out there. We can do some hunting here. We can do some hunting out there. The problem is we don't have everything that I would like really close. So what I'm actually going to do is send a few villagers out on some recon so that we have a little bit better view of what is around and what can we get everywhere. The more we see, the better we can pick spots. Look at this. Oh, we have uncovered greens already here. There's more fibers here. So making sure that we go this way already revealed some better goods that we might want to use at some point. So yes, I'm going to place this one right here so that we can start to gather some goods. I think we also might need to start hunting. There's 3 deer out there. We place the hunter next here too. We can hunt those animals. That will be nice. Of course, things take a bit of time. We're going to play at speed 2 or speed 1. Those will be the ones that we mostly use. Finally, they're building the town hall, so they removed everything that was in the way. We can see they're building the roads already. They delivered all the goods to the storage, so that will be built soon. And they now need to just clear these areas so that the resources can go there, and then we should be okay. We also have the shoreline already, so we could get going with some fishing soon. But let's just get started. We only have 20 people, 24, so we don't need that much food, and we have food for 18 months, so we should be okay. It's most likely soon that we're going to need, we're going to need a fire cutter and a forester and stuff so that we get the basic resources ready. Now what I like to do is keep some industries away from the town, because they will have a negative effect on the town. So I'm leaving this spot open for all the storages that we're going to build. And then out here comes the first industry. And of course, one of the things we will definitely use is some housing. So let's get set with 3 houses. This gives them quite a bit to do and quite a bit to build. So we'll have to be a little patient. I think we're going to add up one more builder. But yeah, right now we have 24 people without a house. So yeah, that's something that we have to address. There can be 4 people in one house. So this will provide room for 12 people. We need another row of 3 houses to accommodate everyone. And as long as we don't have any free space in our houses, we won't get any kids. So that's one of the other downsides we have at the moment. Right. Here we can check that there is a building queue. They're building the gathering hut first, then the hunter, and then the houses, and then the firewood cutter. I'm actually happy with this queue, so we're not going to change it up. But you can change priorities if you want to. Right now we have 46 wood and 26 stone. We need 15, 20, 25. So we should have the amounts of stone that we need. 15, 30, 60. Yeah, we need more wood, but we can already see that these are chopping more wood. So they can actually bring in some more wood. So that should be okay. And yep, all the resources are in. They will now start to build this gathering hut, which is perfect. And then they should also start to deliver goods to the hunter. We can see right there, this lady's doing that already. She's bringing in the stones. This one's bringing in wood. This one seems to be bringing in wood. So that's all happening. And that's basically where we just have to let them do their thing. And as you can see, the road network is built pretty quickly. Most of the roads are up. We now need to do this section and some roads here. So you do start off with a decent amount of people that can do some useful work. But yeah, we have to get up to the point where we actually start to produce a bit of food. We need 388 food per year, as we can see. I like that they give a lot of information in these screens. So we need 388 for the full year of food. We haven't produced anything. And last year, 112 food was consumed. So you get a lot of good numbers here. And this food that we have, smoked fish, smoked meat and bread, is durable food. So that will take quite a long time to spoil, which is good. Here we can actually see what they can get here. Where only the herbs and the mushrooms are actually food. The rest isn't. So there's not too much food in this area. But for now we're good. And we can always check if there is more food around if we do this one. And we can see that there's berries up here and some fibers, mushrooms. So could be that we just going to build a gatherer on one of the other sides. But right now they're building the hunter. They're building the first house. Second house has all the stuff that it needs. The third house is getting all the stuff that it needs. So that actually pretty much looks good. It does seem that the animals that we were trying to hunt moved. No, they're still there. See? So let's go. You can move an area that you want the building to use by clicking this flag. Now you see the outer line dotted. That's how far you can go by changing it up. And we're just going to change it up right there. So now this area is in its zone and it can hunt some animals. And from an animal, we should be getting some hides and some meat. So that'll mean some extra food. We can now see that our people ate some food. And we're still not producing anything. So we now only have 14 months of food. And 1 month of food will spoil in the next year. So you will run out of food quickly if you don't start to invest some money in producing food. Now, dear sir, you can come here and do some recon. Same as you. Because I want to see what's out here. If we have to build like an extra gathering hut or something. There is some greens out here which are good for food. And of course this one is picking up all of this stuff, which is good. Could just be that there's plenty of stuff a little further out, but we'll have to scout a bit. Right, houses are up. The firewood cutter has everything it needs to be built, so we can just build these extra houses now. Although, basically we can't, because we need extra wood for it. So let's chop these trees. And I'm going to chop some trees here too. Actually, I'm going to go into cancel mode. That's easy. You can just cancel some stuff. Because the deer live here. And if we chop too many trees out here... Let's put this on permanently. If you press the V button, all of this pops up all the time. We can see that there's actual deer here. And if we move too much of the forest, the deer will move away. So we're going to keep this clear a little bit. Oh, they hunted an animal. Nice. And that means that they can now do a little bit of recon for me. And then they can go on with the animal. That's fine. Right, there is a little bit of food out here too. Interesting. Alright, we now have a firewood cutter almost ready. Keep in mind that because we have these two buildings now, that means 2 of our people are now working in there. So they won't be laborers anymore. So we're now down to 9 labor. As soon as the firewood cutter is ready, we'll have 8 laborers. And we already have 3 builders, which is nice because then they can build the houses and such. But we are going to need more people in the end. So that'll be one of the priorities to work towards. Yes, it's done now. We have Kevin Frost in there making us some firewood. So let's see how that goes. That should be sufficient, especially now for the beginning. Oh, wow, they were fast chopping all the trees. Let's get some stones as well. Need to keep my people productive. I know there's animals in here that might just disappear, but this is all town area in the end anyways. So we'll just let them gather everything up here. I'm fine with that. We're building the 5th house. With the 5th and soon the 6th house up and running, we have housing for everyone. So then the next step will be adding houses so that we can get some babies. But we have to be a little bit careful with that. We can also see we have clothing and such. There's a lot of resources in this game actually. There's a lot of different types of food. Then we have usable items as tools and clothing and stuff. We have production items, which we produce and then later use. And we have luxuries, we have weapons, we have a lot of raw materials. So there's plenty of stuff that we still have to get. It's just a matter of taking your time and planning it. But don't take too much time or you'll run into disasters. We did produce our first food. 80 food was produced last year. It's not enough to sustain our population if we really have to. But at least some food is produced, which is nice. And if we're like, well, there's plenty of stuff, but this guy just can't gather it all alone, we can always put in an extra worker. That is something that can work. Let's actually do that for now. So that we have that slightly extra amount of stuff incoming. We do already get some additional roots in, I believe, but I don't know. Can they store that in here? Yeah, okay, so they're not doing that. That's where you need the laborers for. So you can't just put everybody in regular jobs, because then you have no laborers to carry the goods around. So we need to keep our eyes on having enough laborers. Now, since all the buildings are ready, I just want to go with 2 extra houses, so that we will be good on that front. And another thing I want to do, get this lady and do some recon out here. What's this? Gold. Nice. I want to get some more recon going. These are just gathering stones anyway, so you go all the way over there. So that we can see if there is another good spot where we can place some stuff. Now, other things like a crop field we can get if we get the fertilizer pit and a population of 30. So we'll have to grow our population for that. And that will be nice. We also have to get the fertilizer pit at some point to get rid of all the waste that the people in this cute little town produce. So why not get going with that? Now these are basically kind of mandatory jobs that you have to get. Otherwise waste will pile up, everybody will get sick because their stuff won't be picked up. You can go back now because it's getting very cold. Are you still here? No, you're already on the way back, I guess. Very good. Oh, there she is. It's way too cold to be out here now. They need to stay warm. If they get too cold, they might die. And since we have only 20 people, and in this case only 14 that can actually do a decent job, it will be pretty much really, really very important to keep everybody alive. So that's what we're going to try and do. Now we can see that this house has to wait for all the resources to be brought in. She's bringing in some resources. That's good. Later on we can get a building called the marketplace that will actually spread around those goods so the villagers don't have to do that. So your villagers will be more efficient, which is great. So I kind of like that. Alright, well these are bringing in also some food and some medicinal roots. But yeah, we only produced 81 food last year. This year just started, so we'll see how much we can produce this year. But we might need to add some extra food. And I'm kind of hoping that we can get some farming up soon. But with 4 people in a house, we have room now for 24 people. This should get us over the 30 threshold. Where we can then build farms. And then we can get into farming quickly. Farms can produce good amounts of food pretty quickly, so they'll be very handy. But I have to take our time. Ah, here are some more greens. I like it. It's still very cold though, so we can't send out another settler. Oh, we have only 1 month of water. I forgot about the water well. Oh, shoot. You know what? Let's build a well out there. And then, you know, this is one that we're going to prioritize. I always forget the well. That is something that I usually do because you're like, oh well. In a lot of games, well, water is not a thing. Like in Austria and stuff it is. But in a lot of games, it's not really a thing usually. And now I do forget about it. So let's get our builders in to start bringing the resources. We have all the stones for it, which is nice. And they gathered a lot of the stones here already. I'm actually going to put this a bit in cancel mode now. Because that will make them switch to go to the trees. Otherwise, they will not go to these trees. Because we have to get the water in. I mean, they all have some water still left. So, it is in our storages that we don't have enough water left. But, you know, that's not the biggest issue then. Because even after this month, they can probably still last with the water that they have on them. It does appear that the little cart that we started with is already completely emptied out and transferred into the storage because the cart is gone. So that is something. And yeah, they're bringing in the resources. Just 7 woods to go and the stones. There come the stones. We now just need 7 wood. So please, people, chop me some wood. He's probably going to do... Yeah, he's going to do the rock. Arrgh. Go do the wood, my friend. That's much more important. We are now up to 25 people, meaning that the first kid has been born. So, yeah, we're on the right track to getting towards some farming. What are you going to do? Going to take a look out there. That's nice, but then go take a look out there so that I can see if there's more food there. Oh dear, I hope we will be in time for the water. 7 wood, we have 5 now, but they still have to bring it in and then build the well. Although building the well usually doesn't take too long. See, this is 2 wood. If not collected within 9 minutes, it will be stored automatically. Oh, cool. So we can do some stuff pretty far out, have nobody collected, and after a while it will be stored automatically. That's a nice feature. I like that. Alright, well, the kid has grown up. And now we have an extra person that can work. We have some extra food out here. Perfect. Let's do a little bit more scouting around. Because if we can place a gatherer here that can gather some really good stuff, I'll be all for it. And 5 more food wood needed. 2 more wood needed. Oh, come on. Oh, there it comes, I think. So then we can finally build up. Oh, yep, there's more food out here. There's stones out here. There's more food out here. Oh, look at this. So if we build a gathering hut here, it will provide just food. We can put it in such a way that we have 8 food sources in here. Let's build it. Let's go ahead and build it. Just to be sure, I mean, we only have 9 months of food left now. This is producing food, but not enough. Same with this one. It does produce some food, but it's just simply not enough. So let's make sure that we get enough. Alright, they're building the well. Lucky me. Now it still has to fill up. But at least people can get some fresh water in. Building the extra house. Still need a ton of wood to build this one though. Then we can start to pick up the messes from the people. And then we can give them some good... on the farms we can use the fertilizer, which will make your farm's output grow up. So that's good. Just need to remove all the stuff from the people's houses first. They are already making sure that they get waste. So yeah, we're going to need that. Alright, I made myself a coffee right before I started this recording, and I was like, oh wow, I'm already busy 20 minutes, my coffee's getting cold, so I had to drink my coffee. But here we are. One more wood needed, and we can build the fertilizer pit. The next house is being built too, so we have some room for growth. We can see right here, the housing count now is 32. We have 28 people, so we have room for 4 more. Once the next house is up, it should be 36. Yes, so now we have room for 8 more people. And that's good. And just 2 more and we can get into farming. Although farming takes a long time. So it might take up to a year for a farm to produce its first yield. When it does, that's perfect. But yeah, we'll see. We're going to build this now. And then they're delivering resources right there. One of the other things we are going to need is the forester. Why? Well, they also plant wood. So this will be bringing in a steady supply of wood, which is something that we're going to need. And actually, I think it can go right here, because this is an area where they can plant a lot of trees and stuff. So we can even place it just next to these and move the area a little bit. And that will be one that we are going to have to use more of to produce enough of that stuff. So if we want to produce enough wood to sustain the village, we're going to need more foresters at some point. Right now, obviously, we don't have the people to work in there, so that's not going to work out, but at some point we will. I must say, though, these guys are doing a great job. This one is doing a nice job. It has collected quite a bit of meat already. We have 83 in store now. Unfortunately, we can't smoke it yet. For that, we need a population of 75. But that's quite far off, but at some point we'll get to that, and that'll be very helpful. Here we have a fish shore, so we could get into fishing too if we want. And as you can see already, we have built a small town. But it takes time to get to certain points. Like, I really want to get fishery for the extra food, but do we have villages for that? We have 10 laborers now, so we should be okay if we also get a fishing hut. But yeah, we have to be a little bit careful with how we do stuff. That's where the fishing hut can go. We have insufficient wood. Yeah, well, we have 23, so should be okay. It's probably not on the right places. There are constructions waiting for resources. Yeah, I know. This one is waiting. This one is waiting now. Are we chopping down more trees? Doesn't appear so. So let's tell them to chop this down. Let's tell them to do a bit of chopping work out here. Alright, this one's getting built. That'll get us extra food. Then once this one is built, that will start to bring in some steady supply of wood. Oh, that's going to be helpful. We did produce 222 food last year, so we are halfway in the food that we need, I guess. 443 is needed a year, so yeah, we should be in for having everything that we need with this one, because this one will only produce food types. It is the quick spoiling type of food though, so we have to keep that in mind. Fertilizer pit. Ah, yeah. That is not working yet because it needs a cart to actually work, I believe. So the dung hauler cart. So we need to build this cart. And then villagers can drop their goods in here. There we go. And then at some point when it's filled up, a laborer will come and bring it into the fertilizer pit. Which is nice because it means you don't have a permanent worker in here. You just have to place some of these carts out and villagers can dump their stuff in there. Which I think is a cool feature. So somebody will come, see, and he will now be the dung hauler. And he will be the one that goes by the houses collecting all the dung and then bringing it in there. I like how they set that up. So that's a cool thing. Alright, let's go with the gathering hut. Let's finish this for me so we can put in somebody to get us some extra food. Now you will also notice that during different months there will be more or less food in it. So these have an amount of food stored in them. And then you can pick that up, of course. If we move this strategically, we can also get those fibers in the area. That's nice. I'm going to put 2 workers in here. So these will now gather food. And some fibers. And it might be that these sources run out during the winter time and the fall. And then in spring they will fill up again. So right now is a good time because the winter is starting. So they still have quite some stuff to gather before we get to that point where it runs off. Which is, I think, good. That's actually not a bad thing. But yeah, it might be at some point that you end up with some issues there. Now, I am going to build this road. I know one medicinal route will go, but it will make them walk faster, which is good. What is your issue? Internal storage is full. Well, get it out then. Why is nobody bringing that stuff away? Come on, people. Oh, we're going to need a cemetery at some point when people die. But yeah, we have so much going on that our laborers are currently not taking out the stuff from the hunting hut. So we can't produce anymore. This building will need some fertilizer, as we can see. Makes trees grow 50% faster. And it's set to balance mode, so they will harvest and plant trees. We can also tell them to just harvest or just plant, which is an amazing feature. I like that. And we're going to set them to, I think, this area for the moment. So that they can also plant some trees out there. They'll be helpful to us. And then hopefully they will bring in a steady supply of wood. Now we can see we have plenty of firewood, we have stones, we have some wood to spare now. And hopefully, sorry, this will start to produce some good food. They are gathering resources, it says, and yet one is standing there, one is standing there. I think these sources have 49 in them right now and 47. And now I wonder, if they go back, what will happen to the amounts in there? 48, 47. Is it going that slow? 48, 48. Oh, seems like it's growing. 49. Herbs. Well. Oh, herbs are not food, I think. Are herbs food? You can see that in the resource. Nope, herbs are used for medicine, I think. Ah, so we mainly get herbs. We don't even get that much food out here. It is the greens that provide some food, and this, so that's only 4 sources of food. Oh, my mistake. Oh, wow, that's not going to bring in a lot of food then. Well, then we really need a fishing boat. There's 2 fish sources out here, so let's get somebody extra in there to catch some fish for us. You can see this one is now really busy catching the fish. It has plenty of fish in the fish source. It has already caught 3 fish. Well, that'll be helpful. We are up to 30 people. It looks like we can produce our first crop field. Oh, yeah. Now, crop fields are nice, but you don't want to place them too close to town. And I'm going to do some calculations. One house is 3 wide, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So here we get a road. This is the area that I'll reserve for housing. So from here on out we can build farms, I think. And then we're just going to build a good-sized farm. It will cost me 30 wood. But with one good-sized farm we can make a lot of food. Ooh, we get a message here. We can get increased fiber gathering rate in the gathering hut by 20%. We can get 500 milk or 75 animal hides. I'm going to go with the animal hides, but save them for later. We're going to need those for some clothing that we have to build. And this will be interesting to get that. So basically what I'm planning now is we have 2 blocks of houses here. We can put those out here. We can put them up here. And didn't really plan it out here too, so this probably won't do. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we can do 1 small block of houses here. But this gives us plenty of room to build houses for a while. And then we don't have to move the crop field anytime soon. That's why I'm trying to do this. To map things out a little bit so that we can use the right spaces for things like crops. Now we're going to let them build this. We might get to another crop field anytime soon as well. Still only have 6 laborers though, and there might be like 4 or 6 that need to work in the farm. So that will get us out of labor. So we'll have to see how that goes. And we have only food for 6 more months. We produced 330 last year. Oh dear. And we need 500. I think we picked the right spot in terms of the openness of the stuff, but there's just not enough food in here. I'm going to turn the greens off for a bit, so that they will mostly gather the food and not the greens. But not the herbs. There's only a little bit of greens in there, but bears are out. Oh boy. Might also need a hunter then. Extra hunter. We have the extra meat over here, so we could do that. Let's just get into the road network again. This is where the road network will be. I like to keep things attached to the road network, because that really helps speed up what they do. Now, I'd rather give this one on this side and then move its work area a little bit. So there we go. And then we will see. Waiting for the area to be cleared. So they still need to clear some areas here, but that's okay. 5 months of food. Oopsie. It's the middle of winter now, so even before this really kicks into gear, it's gonna take a while. Herbalist needed, yeah. Could just get sick in the winter time, and then you need a herbalist to cure them. We have the herbalist workshop. He can make some medicine. See, they fall ill more often and recover health slowly if we don't have those medicines. So this will be something to get during the next year, I guess. But yeah, we already have a few problems now that we have to solve, namely food. So let's get going with that first, and then we can do the other stuff later. Maybe in this one. This one only has 1 type of food. See, that's the problem. I just totally misunderstood what we were getting out here. This is the only source of food it's getting out there. The good thing is we're getting fish in decent numbers, so that's the good news. But that's also where the good news ends, I think. So yeah. All will be connected for now to the farm, I think. As soon as we get the farm up and running, and we get some decent harvest out of it, that should be very good. Until then, a bit tough. We did survive the second winter mostly, because I think winter's almost over now. Waiting the resources. Well, there's plenty of wood laying there, so they can just bring that in. I'm not sure the game is that efficient already, but that would be good. Would just do that. Right, it's March. We have food for 4 months. Let's put this into high gear, get an extra one in. Can we move its zone so it will have all 3? Yes, perfect. So now there's 3 areas where they can get fish. Ooh, lucky me. They'll get us some extra food. And this hunter should provide some extra food. But I mainly want the farm done. 18 out of the 30 wood it needs. So come on. Eleanor is bringing some stuff. How much did you bring? 12. Oh, that's good. Strong lady carrying 12 wood. But yeah, we can already see houses with food signs over it, because I think we're almost out of food now. We just have some meat there, and I think we also need to give them quite a varied dinner to keep them happy, so That'll be something. And, oh, this one is completely filled up with food at the moment, so they need to empty that. Yeah, let's just get the road network up and running. Alright, we can't grow our population anymore, which is actually a good thing right now, since we struggle a bit with food. I think once that is all over, we can build extra houses again, but we have to get food in now first. Alright, they're delivering the resources here too. I think my builders should now come in, starting to build the house. Elmer is assigned. Okay, are you Elmer? No, you're Alwyn. Come on, Elmer, get your ass over to the farm. Get working. Okay, this one's emptied out now. That's good. So they can keep fishing. This is all the food we have. But we did produce 427 food last year. We need 554. So we're getting close. We're getting close to the amount of food that we actually need. This might make the difference and make us survive long enough to be able to get the farm to work. Yep, there it is. We're just going to produce greens in here, I think, because that's what we need for food. How many laborers do I have? 5. Alright, let's put one extra worker in here so that we have 4. I'm going to get one worker out of here, because this is not getting me a lot of food anyways. And then we can put that extra worker in here. And then we have 4 people working here. That should help out. Now, average maturation time is 150 days. We get 128 out of an area. We have 4 areas. So that should get us like 500 food each year. So I think this field should be enough to sustain this population each year. We just have to make sure that we get to the point where this can do what it has to do in 1 year. Now we can already see it needs water at some point. So building a well here, maybe somewhere here, might be a good thing. I think I'll build it 1, 2, 3, 1 right here. And then let's see how that works. We have an extra hunter. That's also an extra person doing a job. So I think we're almost out of... Yeah, we only have 3 laborers. But this one... Yeah, it's getting food now. So I'm not going to get anybody out there. We're just going to leave them in. We can see that the first block is planted. Oh, this is actually 6 blocks, I think. So this should produce 6 times 128 food. Oh. That will produce a lot of food for the town. And if that works, actually. Greens will spoil quickly, though. I mean, it's not like they will last very, very long. So... But hey, at least if we can get this going and they can grow it and we can have the food, that'll be good. Yeah, we have a lot of shortages at the moment. We're not producing any clothing and stuff yet. We have started to collect the stuff that we need for it. So we should have some hides and stuff that can show somewhere. See, animal hides, which we can turn into some form of clothing. But right now, all the people are needed to produce the food that we need. So we're not going to bother with clothing yet. It will just make our villagers a little bit less happy and make sure that they work less efficient, but that's okay for now. And as we can see here, the road to the fishery is almost ready, which will help speed up the whole process of getting the fish from there. We now have 6 months of food left. And it now says that last year 602 food was produced and 495 was consumed. So we should have produced enough to sustain all of our population. Now, this building does need fertilizer. We only have 1. And yeah, but we're making fertilizer, so that's good. Production times 1. I don't know how to speed that up, so we'll just have to let it be. But that's okay. We do have plenty of firewood. We have stones. We have some wood now. So that's all good news. And I think if we want to get into an extra farm... See, we can fit a small farm in here, but use that for making, you know, medicinal herbs, that kind of stuff. Then we can build another farm, maybe in this area or out here. We can always remove this road and you place another farm here, place another farm there. And yeah, that will get us into some good farming. Alright, the labor, the water, and we need some fertilizer. They'll be very good. So let's keep them going. Are we building something? I don't think so. So for now, let's get those builders out so that they can do some labor jobs for us. Now, it's very tempting to start building extra houses so that we can grow again. And we have 9 months of food now. But yeah, we're going to wait off with that. Oh, we have our first disaster. We have a house on fire. Luckily, we have our well and it's not too far. And we can see the people rushing back and forth to get the fire out. It will work in the end, so they should be able to put out the fire and should not be too much damage and stuff. After that, it might be destroyed, but I think it should be okay. And then we had our first disaster. That's why you need to build wells all over town in the end. I mean, now we just have one, and if, I don't know, this building catches fire, we'll probably lose it. But we can easily rebuild it. Luckily, this should be fine for now. Keep our eyes open. Will it be fine? Yes, it will. Come on, extinguish the fire. You can do it, people. Run, run, run. Yep, alright, they did it. It's all good. Nothing bad. So, yes, happy with that. They still need to do their jobs. But, alright, we have 9 months of food now. So, that is pretty much saved, I think. We can see that the fish and the meat are the most ones that we have. So this hunter is also really helping out. It is completely filled up already. So it did a great job so far. And that for now will conclude our first episodes and the founding of our little cute town here. So I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. If you have not done so, please subscribe to my channel. Leave all your comments in the comment section. I will respond to it. And then, of course, I hope to see you in a brand new video. Thank you so much and bye-bye.